WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. At this hour, the entire state of Mississippi is under a shelter-in-place order. Governor Tate Reeves this week issued that order. It will be in place until April the 20th at 8 a.m. Now, we've received a lot of questions from you about what this means for you and your family. To help sort it out, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency has published a list of do's and don'ts, so we want to share those with you. Now, first, here are some things that you can do under the shelter-in-place order. You can go to the grocery store, you can go to doctor's appointments, you can go to the pharmacy. It is okay for you to care for a sick family member or friend. It's okay to go to restaurants for takeout only. All restaurants are doing takeout, curbside, or delivery. You can go outside. Just keep 6 feet between you and others. Observe that social distancing. And now to the things that you should not do during this shelter-in-place order. Visiting family and friends for social reasons, you should not be doing that. Gathering in groups of 10 or more, and you should not visit loved ones in the hospital, in nursing homes, or other residential facilities. You should follow all of these guidelines all day, every day, until the order is lifted. Right now, that is scheduled for April the 20th. Baldwin police are encouraging people to take the governor's shelter-in-place order seriously or face the consequences. Police Chief Troy Agnew says his officers will be monitoring essential businesses and public spaces to make sure no more than 10 people are together at one time. The chief says the next 2 weeks may be inconvenient, but he's encouraging everyone to think about the health and safety of others.
People are confused. They are concerned now. People are real concerned about this, like all of us. Like I said, we facing something we ain't never faced before, and it's kind of unknown.
Chief Agnew says those violating the executive order could face fines and possibly even jail time. The mayor of Columbus wants to clear up any confusion. In a letter to his residents this afternoon, Mayor Robert Smith makes it plain that local restaurants cannot offer dine-in services. The mayor refers to the governor's order 1466 dated April the 1st. The order states that restaurants and bars may remain open but are limited to drive-through, curbside, and delivery service. The city of Columbus adopted a nearly identical resolution back on March the 21st. In his letter, Mayor Smith says, quote, "I am asking that everyone act as though they themselves have the virus and want to prevent themselves from giving it to others," end quote. Meanwhile, Aberdeen Police Chief Henry Randall is sending a warning to residents there. If you don't abide by the curfew established, you will be penalized. Under the law, no one is allowed out between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. except essential workers like medical personnel or people who are going to and from work. A first offense carries a $100 fine. A second offense comes with a $500 fine. And Randall wants parents to know they will be responsible if their children violate the curfew.
Anybody that is 17 years or less, the parent will get that ticket. So in other words, I need for you to know where your children are at all times. If they're spending the night with someone, if they're out with someone and they're not watching them, you're still going to get that ticket. So I want to be clear about that.
A third violation of the curfew carries a 90-day jail sentence. Well, the governor's executive order calling on Mississippians to shelter in place is being felt in all walks of life and in every type of business. Our Allie Martin tells us how area funeral directors are serving their clients' needs while keeping everyone safe.
Funeral directors across Lee County have set guidelines they will all follow as the governor's executive order takes effect. They're trying to balance compassionate care while providing a safe environment in their funeral homes.
Grief cannot be quarantined.
As owner of Holland Funeral Director, Steve Holland has seen grief up close for nearly 50 years. He joined area funeral directors at a news conference to announce guidelines they've all adopted to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Those guidelines include halting all visitations, allowing no more than 10 people to be at a funeral following the 6-foot rule for social distancing, and canceling public graveside services. Jock Grayson of Grayson Porter's Mortuary says the past few weeks have been tough on everyone, from family members of loved ones to funeral directors.
I know it's hard because it is so hard for me as a director to tell a family what they cannot do. I don't like it, not one bit, but it's not in our control. I love serving, and I love for the family to be able to do what they want for that loved one.
Holland says most people understand the need for the temporary guidelines during this crisis.
By and large, most families have been understanding. There have been a few that's threatened my life because I said you cannot have a funeral with 150 people there, not in my place, and I won't be there wherever you have it.
I asked Steve Holland if he'd been through any other similar time as a funeral director. He said the AIDS epidemic of the early 1980s was similar because of the fear that it caused among the public and even among some funeral home operators. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Funeral homes are using live stream to broadcast funerals to family and friends of loved ones who cannot attend those services in person. Governor Kay Ivey has also issued a stay-at-home order for the state of Alabama. It takes effect tomorrow at 5 p.m. and runs through April the 30th. Under the stay-at-home order, people in Alabama can still get essential needs like going to the grocery store, doctor appointments, or to work if you are still working. Gatherings of more than 10 people prohibited in the order. You can read Governor Ivey's stay-at-home order in full on our website, wcbi.com.
Today we've had some sunshine, some clouds, mild temperatures, even a little batch of showers. Those showers now on the way out. Look at these clouds as they moved on through the Tupelo area today. We had a lot of blue sky earlier. The clouds came on in. We had a few lighter showers here over the last few hours, but now we're getting that sunshine to break back out. Downtown Louisville, Mississippi, looking pretty good here on our Friday evening. Temperature is still around 70, so get ready for some nice weather over the next few hours. 65 by 9, 61 at 11, down into the 50s for lows tonight. Should be pretty quiet. Maybe a few stray weekend showers. Not really a big deal here for the weekend. Temperatures will be warming on up. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
You will see some changes at your local Walmart beginning tomorrow. Starting Saturday, Walmart will limit the number of customers who can be in a store at once. The stores will now allow no more than 5 customers for each 1,000 square feet at a given time. That's roughly 20% of a store's capacity. Associates will mark a queue at a single entry door. In most cases, this will be at the grocery entrance. Customers will be admitted one by one and counted. Once inside, expect one-way movement through the aisles. Floor markers will be used, and associates will direct customers to avoid close contact with others. Now, once a store reaches its capacity, customers will be admitted inside on a one-out, one-in basis. Walmart is asking customers to bring the fewest number of people per family to shop. After checking out, customers will exit through a separate door. Some stores will test out selling what they deem as essential items, groceries, toiletries, and access to pharmacy. Lowe's hardware store in Columbus reopens its doors this morning. Mayor Robert Smith closed the store Thursday after reports surfaced of an employee testing positive for COVID-19. Lowe's released a statement to WCBI stating the store would be cleaned per CDC guidelines, and the employee who tested positive is now in quarantine. We talked to some customers outside the store this morning. Some of them were unaware of the situation. Others said they're taking some extra precautions.
I wasn't even informed until just now that somebody tested positive, but I kind of think it's a little natural to be a little freaked out about it, but every time I leave a store, I've been germ-Xing and washing, so.
Yeah, we're gonna wipe down. We're gonna wipe down right now. I ain't too much worried.
For the full statement from Lowe's, you can go to our website, wcbi.com. Cooper Tire in Tupelo will continue its shutdown. The company says it plans to remain idle for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. Some distribution centers will continue to operate, but production is being covered by its European plants. Well, new numbers this week show that roughly 6.6 million people in the United States have filed for unemployment during the coronavirus outbreak. Many of those are right here in our viewing area. Many of them say they're having a hard time filing for those benefits. Our Quentin Smith met a man who's currently facing a problem. He joins us live from outside the Golden Triangle Wind Center. So, Quentin, he recently called over 100 times in one day.
Yeah, Andrea, Charlie McCarter says he's called 150 times to be exact, and there have also been instances where he spent over an hour on the phone and still got nowhere. McCarter was laid off last week and is looking to seek unemployment benefits to help get him through this tough time. He's made phone calls, he's sent emails, still got nowhere. Now he says he's frustrated and doesn't know what else to do. Charlie McCarter spends each morning calling different numbers trying to get unemployment benefits. But more times than not, he ends up waiting and waiting and waiting, either getting nowhere or receiving messages like this.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again.
It's been kind of frustrating. The fact that they don't have anybody answering the phones. The phones are always busy. The numbers they give you are disconnected, or there's nobody answering.
This call log shows the more than 50 times McCarter spent trying to speak with a representative. McCarter went to the Wynn Job Center in Mayhew, where flyers like these saying they're experiencing a high volume of calls are posted all around the building. The flyers do give additional numbers to contact. Numbers McCarter says still lead to nowhere.
The number that does work, they have employees that answer the phone, but they're pretty much telling you what you already know, the contact numbers that you can call to try to see if you can get in contact with somebody, and that's pretty much it.
The Starkville native says he first filed for unemployment nearly 20 years ago and needs access retrieving his account. However, whenever he calls, workers tell him they're teleworking from home and don't have their computer to access his information.
They say I would have to talk to somebody, but there's nobody answering the phone to get to the next step.
And just like that, McCarter says he's back at square one.
I really think they should have really thought this situation out first. I don't know how the president said we're going to do a shutdown and go file unemployment, but you send everybody home at unemployment. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? And you know that's what everybody's going to, and that's what everybody's depending on.
After being laid off, he, just like many others, are depending on unemployment to help them stay afloat. In the meantime, McCarter says he's going to remain hopeful that the right person will soon be on the other end of his call, leading him in the right direction.
I really think it should be something they should be getting on right away and looking into, seeing what's going on, trying to get more people into the call center to help out. I'm assuming that's the issue.
Now, you may remember it was just last week when we reported on others who were having similar difficulties when trying to file for unemployment benefits. We reached out to the governor's office to see what's the issue and if anything is being done. We're still waiting to hear back from them. That's the very latest from here in Mayhew. Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
Coming up, an area musician is showing us that social distancing does not have to mean social isolation. His inspiring story when we come back. Welcome back. We are seeing many creative ideas when it comes to keeping entertained while we stay at home during this outbreak. But one man is taking it to new heights with his voice. Scott Martin joins us in the studio with more on these inspiring music tones.
Yeah, Andrea, music is food for the soul, and what you're about to hear is definitely filling us up. Take a listen.
I love to praise him. I love to praise his name.
A gift, raw talent, whatever you want to call it, Tyson Cunningham has it, and we can't get enough.
Chilly winds on low.
But I know things are tough for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are anxious, and just there's so many things going on. People losing jobs, loved ones getting sick, and just, man, it's just a lot of chaos.
Using an app called Acapella, Cunningham is bringing people online sounds from the heart that has every ear tuning in.
You know, it's never about me. I never want people to, man, he's so awesome. You know, that's cool. But in the grand scheme of things, I just want people to see life as worship, and just have the opportunity to plug in different opportunities where we can worship God together through song. That's just one of the ways we can worship the Lord.
Cunningham is a worship leader at Crosspoint Church. He's using the gift of his voice that he hopes reaches deeper than just noise.
Man, it's such an amazing thing. We can use our gifts, use our talents, use our abilities to shed light, shed positivity, shed hope, and just try to make the most of what God has put in each one of us.
From the melody to the harmony, Cunningham hopes every note helps soothe our souls.
I hope that people would get just a glimpse of just a positive reminder that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
In his hand, God's got it in his hand. In his hand, in his hand, God's got us in his hand. No need to worry. In his hand, 'cause God's got us in his hand.
Now, he's obviously gotten quite a bit of attention on Facebook, and he says even after the pandemic is over, he plans to continue sharing his gift for all of us to listen to. Guys.
You know, I'm still rocking. That was great. That was inspiring.
We need good vibes like that on a Friday, don't we?
We need good vibes. We need good weather.
We do, and we will have some carry over into the weekend, Andrea. Look at our time lapse from Durham today and Vernon. Some of those clouds moved down through. A lot of sunshine today. We got into the mid to upper 70s. Same story tomorrow. Can't rule out a stray shower, but okay if you're going to be hanging around the house, which we probably will be doing. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Weather right now, fairly tame, and we love to see tame weather in the month of April. It can be very active. A chance for a shower tomorrow, 77 degrees, around 80 on Sunday. Can't rule out a shower there either, but most of the weekend is looking okay. A better chance for a few scattered storms in the region perhaps on Monday, 81 degrees. So that's where we're headed for the next couple of days here. Rain opportunities going up, especially by Tuesday and beyond. We'll have a better opportunity for some clusters of storms around the region. Right now we have a batch of showers falling apart quickly here near Hamilton. Alabama quickly moving to the east. That's it for the rest of today, it would appear. Big storms rumbling down here in Texas right now. Those will be staying to our south. There actually is a cold front coming on into the region, but it's not very powerful. It is weakening. No issues. This is an anniversary date of sorts. The super tornado outbreak of 1974 started today. 2 days, 13 states, 148 tornadoes, 355 fatalities, over 6,000 injuries from Mississippi to Michigan to New York. It was violent. And fortunately, we don't have anything like that. And for this weekend, no real areas or episodes of severe weather expected anywhere in the nation. Tomorrow there could be a few scattered storms, also on Sunday too, along with some showers, but no major outbreaks here anytime soon. That's very good news. Our time lapse from Columbus today, our Alpha Insurance camera shows the sun giving way to some of those clouds this afternoon. 69 in Winona, 73 in Vernon, 70 in Tupelo right now. By mid-evening, low 60s and then some upper 50s, those clouds thinning on out. And later on tonight, it looks like we'll be down into the mid to low 50s when we wake up on our Saturday morning. By midday tomorrow, mid-70s, a mix of sun and clouds, much like today. Upper 70s, maybe a shot at 80 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds during the course of the day. Can't rule out a stray shower or two somewhere in the afternoon or evening, but we're not really looking at a lot of moisture here tomorrow. 70s for us, a shot at 80, but a better opportunity for some 80s down towards Hattiesburg. And we're going to stay warm going into next week, too. More in the way of upper 70s, low and mid 80s here all the way through next week. And there will be some better opportunities for some rain. We mentioned this as we get into early next week as well. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. 77 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, 81 Monday, 80 Tuesday, 85 Wednesday. And there you have it, some scattered showers and storms as we get into next week. There's your forecast. The show continues after the break.
CBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Now that you're the head coach of your alma mater, what's the feeling like around that? What does that mean to you?
You know, it's a good feeling. You know, I'm just blessed to have this opportunity, you know, to come home and take over a program that means a lot to me. You know, it's a lot of tradition, a lot of pride, you know, comes along with Calhoun City football.
You're an assistant coach with Calhoun City for the past 2 years, coaching under Perry Lyles and Chad White. What are some of the things that you learned from them that you hope to emulate as a head coach and continue the tradition of Calhoun City?
You know, I learned a lot from both of those guys. One thing is hard work. You know, nothing beats hard work. You got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and, you know, show up every day and just go to work. And, you know, that right there, you know, it takes care of itself. Our mindset is reload. You know, the expectations, you know, never change around here. We always take pride in playing, you know, after Thanksgiving. So, we just got to be ready when we get that opportunity to step on the field, and be ready to go to work.
You spent the past 2 years at Calhoun City, but this wasn't your first stop as an assistant coach. You've been able to be a part of some pretty successful staffs. I was wondering if you could talk about maybe your experience and some of the other places you've been to get to this point.
Yes, my first 2 years was at South Panola. I worked a year under Coach Lance Pogue, and that second year I was under Coach Ricky Woods. I was able to learn a lot from both of those guys, both very successful coaches. So it was a great experience having the pleasure to work under those guys.
Just as someone who's been around football your entire life, is it almost like a chomping at the bit feeling to get back out there and get on a field and practice and get hands on with the guys? What's maybe been the toughest part for you through this? I guess you'd call it a lockout right now.
Yeah. Well, my mindset is no such thing as an off season. So having to sit there and wait, can't work out, you can't meet with the guys and stuff. It's a bit frustrating. The good thing about it, everyone in the state is dealing with it. So, it's not like anyone is getting an advantage on someone else. So, that's the only good thing about it. And, at times you can take advantage of opportunities like this because you can, do things around the house and, take advantage of the opportunity, spend more time with your family.
TGIF.
The weekend is here.
Finally.
Yes.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe.